Have you seen this all-out dumpster fire brewing on the Amazon platform? And it's all surrounding the no-content and low-content book publishing business. Before you jump to the conclusion that I'll punch down low-content book publishing, I have to insist you hear me out. This could very well help you make an informed decision on whether to continue publishing low-content books or skip them altogether. Just what are no-content and low-content books? Now, we used to refer to no-content books as books with no substance. This is like journals, diaries, notebooks, things like that, to where it requires the buyer to fill it out in some capacity. Now, low-content books were something that had some substance, like planners, activity books, puzzle books, workbooks, things like that didn't have as much substance and did require some filling out. Are no-content books sketchy? Well, no. People want and use physical books for everyday life, like journals. I have a ton of those laying around the house where I keep ideas and notes and to-do lists and things like that, and it really helps me out. So I think that there's a market there. So this is nothing sketchy. People want this. But you gotta understand, I actually like no-content book publishing. This is how it all started. It was probably about around 2015 to 2016. One of my favorite YouTubers was named Dave Koziel, and he used to do live videos on a regular basis, and I heard him talk about it ever so briefly. And I thought,
you know what? I'll figure this out. I don't really need to get coaching or anything else.
So I just kind of dabbled a little bit, and I saw instant returns with zero marketing and really zero investment whatsoever. And now keep in mind, what I saw at first was hundreds of dollars per month. Nothing, earth-shattering, but it was a nice thing to pay bills. Now, this also started to scale up, though, to thousands per month. This is circa 2017. Now, there was a problem, though. No one was talking about no-content books back then. Sure, I saw it on a video, but that was the only one, and I think that disappeared after a while. It was like Fight Club. First rule of no-content book publishing was you
don't talk about no-content book publishing.
Second rule is, well, the same as the first, as you might know. Why was this? Well, CreateSpace at the time wasn't openly endorsing the type of publishing that we were doing. Now, remember, CreateSpace eventually merged to KDP to become KDP Print. This mainly was geared towards fiction and nonfiction books. Now, KDP still doesn't openly endorse publishing no-content books, and we really haven't had a public statement from them regarding it, and they don't seem to be minding the sales made through them. So what's going wrong? Why is this a dumpster fire? Well, a lot. Now, let's start it out with the very first one. There are a ton of overnight experts. I've seen a lot of these big YouTubers and influencers and TikTokers that are popping up out of the woodwork who have really never done much before this, and suddenly they've become experts. And it makes me start to question and wonder,
okay, is this really good, viable advice that they're dishing out?
In some instances, yes. In a lot of instances, no. In fact, there's a lot of black hat tactics that are still running around. There's a lot of people that are working the system and abusing the system, and these overnight experts, some of them aren't really helping out at all. And the one thing I also noticed is mass uploads with little regard to quality. They also do duplicate interiors and mild, and I mean mild cover deviations. They'll have like a t-shirt design on a cover that has a black background, another one with the red, another one with the green, another one with yellow. Look, if your book didn't sell in the black version, I don't think having the yellow version is going to increase the odds, all right? Pick a color, stick to it. Stop doing all this duplicate stuff, and the next thing comes is copycats. Yes, the successful people leave breadcrumbs on the trail to their success. That doesn't necessarily mean you should do exactly everything that they do.
Oh, there's a good title, let me take it. Oh, well, there's a good interior, I'm gonna do exactly like that. Oh, there's a good book description, let me go ahead and just steal that.
Folks, that is IP infringement, intellectual property. Someone came up with that, and you are literally stealing it from them. And then there's even trademark violations. Slipknot, last I knew, does not have a licensed journal. I'd be interested to know if the metal band knows that they have journals being put out there with their name on it and without them collecting any type of royalties. Next one is category squatting. Oh my gosh. Amazon needs to address this issue. It's when these categories that are being put onto no content and low content books have little to do with what it is. They're being mixed in with fiction and nonfiction books. These should be completely separated because they're two different customer needs when it comes to reading books and using books. So technically, everybody should be using non-classifiable. Now, as I have one finger pointed forward, I have three pointed back because I will try to find the closest thing that it covers. But to be honest with you, it's kind of shady. We probably should have better categories, and I think that's going to be ultimately on Amazon KDP to make the difference on that one. Now let's go ahead and also focus on the Ingram content group rollout in 2020. They actually own Ingram Spark and Lightning Source. Now, when it came out, it came through Ingram Spark that they were not all about that life of no content and low content books. Thankfully, with a little bit of public outcry, they walked it back a little bit, but still to this day, they're very picky about what is going through. If it even comes close to being something like a low content book, they will probably just send it on back over to you. I'd speculated it would create an issue with the expanded distribution over on Amazon KDP, and I was right. It had eventually affected expanded distribution, so now no content books and low content books used to go through that avenue, and I made a fair substantial amount of money through that avenue, and not anymore now because Ingram doesn't want any part of that. Could this still affect KDP distribution? Hey folks, Amazon KDP has a history. Is it creating a poor customer experience? Because if it is, they're going to do something about it. And before you say,
Amazon isn't willing to lose that much money,
I gotta tell you, when they lost a lot of money in the merger of CreateSpace to KDP in 2018, in fact, I know a number of authors and self-publishers who literally quit that year because when it got moved over, it butchered some of the accounts. So this was literally losing, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands, if not close to the millions, when they had moved that over. Not to mention building out the infrastructure, having to get the staffing hours and the customer support to handle those type of things. So with all this doom and gloom, you're probably saying, what can I do, Dale? And that's totally understandable. Folks, publish original content. Get creative with what you're doing. Create unique interiors, unique covers. Be different from the rest of the people out there. Quit trying to chase after trends and find this profitable keyword that you could get on right now. Because here's the thing is, as soon as you discover that keyword or some YouTuber shares it on their channel, chances are likely it's just going to get flooded, it's going to get saturated, and the only people that are going to profit are the ones who are unique and that come to the table with something completely different. The next thing is scale slow. You need to monitor quality. You can't do that if you're pumping out 6 versions of one single book. Avoid publishing thousands if you aren't generating revenue from even one book. Because according to some people, it is. But I'm going to say no, it's not. I've known self-publishers, and a lot of them who have published thousands and sometimes tens of thousands and didn't even clear $100 per month. That was a lot of wasted time for everyone, and not to mention wasted space over on Amazon servers. And also, you can use automation tools and services, but do it selectively. All right, there are some tools and services that really will help expedite the whole system, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need to abuse it. Cutting corners is not the smart thing to do, because remember, good customer experience, bad customer experience. Is what I'm creating a good customer experience? You need to really look at that and take your blinders off and be real about it. Should you publish no content and low content books? Yes. If you're looking for another way to make money and you're looking for a way to scratch that creative itch, then it could be for you. I know it was a lot of fun for me back in the day. Now, it's not for you if you're expecting overnight success and massive results right away. Easy money has long since gone when the cat was let out of the bag a long time ago. After all, what's the first rule of no content book publishing? Well, someone violated that rule and now we're here. Speaking of no content book publishing, it's been a while actually since I did this video with my friend Keith Wheeler where we talk about creating your own no content books. I will see you over in that next video.